Hello, Sean here again. So, tonight I'm teaching you to do a saddle stitch. The tools we're going to need now are our needles, which are here, which are round tipped saddle stitch needles. I'm using waxed thread, doing wax myself again. Here's the wax. I'm going to put these two pieces of leather together, show you how to do a saddle stitch. Just a little run from this there. So you always want to make sure you've got enough cord that goes over both ends. Using both needles. Cut it at a nice angle, like that. See it just there. So it puts a nice taper onto the cord. You just pull it through 3 times, mark where you've done it, as you pull it through the wax. Change sides. One side. Brilliant. Okay, so here comes the fun part, is attaching the needles. Now I flatten the end by pulling it together like that, so it's got a nice taper. I don't know if you can see that. Can happen at times. Okay, so that can happen sometimes. The thread opens up and splits basically. So you just go back a little bit further down, cut an angle again. Boom, through. Okay, so once it's through, okay, so what I'm going to do is you go past the end of the needle, you pull down the thread over the head of the needle until it's halfway through like that. Okay, once you've done that, you pull it down, pull that down. It's got a nice flush finish, and do it on the other side as well. Tip I've learned, hold the thread against the needle, and you just pull it down with the other 2 fingers and you'll feel the catch. That's it, there you go. Job done. Okay, so you want to find your starting point. So now you go through with 1 needle and come through the other side. What I'm going to do is make sure you got needles half the distance apart. Take 1 needle from one side, push through the hole, and go to the other side. You can use a stitching pony to hold the leather together. It's like a wooden clamp which you put between your legs. It holds leather in place for you to do it. Yeah. So basically, once you pull it through either side, it holds it flat against like that. And you keep going along the end. So as you put the needle through, pull. And it's always important to remember on this one here, you pull it back, so it's got a space for this needle to fall through the same hole, so it doesn't pierce the thread. That's a critical stage. Do not do that. Do that, it can weaken said thread in said place. The nice thing about saddle stitch is that it spreads the load. So whatever load you got in your pouch, bag, container of some sort you're using for or with the saddle stitch, it equally holds it. So if 1 or 2 threads go, you could lose the whole thing. Well, actually no, if a long line goes, it's actually quite resilient. gives you enough warning that it's gone and it can still fix it in time. Okay, so now you got to the end. Well, I haven't got to the end, but I've got a nice run through. So as you can see, the stitch now is going into the leather, which is nice. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go 2 back, and reversing ourselves. So say if this needle's come through this side, we don't push it back that way. We go 1 down here and push it back. But what we're doing different this time is we're going back on ourselves there, back towards the end where we just come from. So it opens up the thread for this needle to go through on it. That's 1. Now here comes a trick now. This is the one thing we can't miss when it comes to saddle stitch. You push the needle through, you leave a loop on one side, you pull that down, okay. Well, what you do is on each side is you loop the needle through the loop 3 times, and then you pull gently. And I'll show you, and don't pull it yet until you've got both sides even, okay? That's 3 on that side. 1, 2, 3. What you want to do is an equal pull, so I've got it unbalanced there, so I'll pull that one. So with an equal unpull, this is what can happen basically, is that you can get a thread through there like that. Now that's why it's important to get a good loop through. See, that side's done correctly, that side's not. Good example of why not to do that loop if you do it through perfectly. But that in essence is a saddle stitch. If you've got any questions or anyone wants to know anything else, then drop me a message on the YouTube comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But that in essence is a saddle stitch. The tool I used beforehand is a scrandled one here. What you use, and you pull it along edge, holding your finger down there, spread your fingers, and you just pull it through the leather. The nice thing about this is it's adjustable, so you can change the width of where you make the groove. So it's a groover basically. They got a spacer, which is what with pins in it, so as you run it along here, it creates indentations. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, which is handy for actually giving your spacing for when you're actually doing your saddle stitch. I use foam, which I put together for my awl, so when my awl goes through, it doesn't penetrate the wood, as you can see, which is really handy. So when I'm pressing down in here, poking it, it doesn't damage it. So quickly, to actually make the holes, you're going to keep this square up here and flat that way. This is a tapered blade. It's like a sort of shape like this, and you want that to be running down your length, so the needles can go either side of it, or the thread can go outside of it when you're working on it. Okay, I'll show you quickly a couple of times. Make sure you hold your leather dead still. And that's how easy it is, and you can have a nice long run, stitch it through there, and you got your two runs. Got any questions? Give us a shout. Let's craft!